Hi, this is Becky. Welcome back to my channel, and I wanted to talk a little bit more about some of the different types of struggles that I help people work through. So some of the common relationship issues include one, we have communication problems. What that means is difficulty expressing oneself, difficulty with having misunderstandings in your communication, and maybe a lack of active listening. And for those of us that have ADHD, you know exactly what I'm talking about, that we might be sitting there making eye contact, fully, what looks to be fully engaged, but our mind isn't quite processing that information. So it does kind of go through, register in that moment, but it doesn't get stored. It then just kind of, you hear the phrase goes in one ear and out the other, because it kind of goes back out into the collective consciousness. It doesn't actually get processed and stored into the brain. And so then it's hard to come back to having an actually engaged conversation with somebody who isn't actually retaining that information and then using it to process it to then create further dialogue to continue that conversation. That's where you'll see a lot of people sometimes get to where they just give yes or no responses because they're not really processing it for a conversational piece. They're just looking for that information to come through. You're asking for a response, there it is. So I help people with those type of difficulties. Another common relationship issue that I help address are trust issues. In today's society and families that we grow up in, a lot of times we're having to protect ourselves even within our own home, even against the people that we love. And it's just because of survival of the way society has been designed. It's created toxicity within the homes. And I'm here to help families that really do want to address those issues and fix them and feel like there's nobody out there that knows how to do this. Well, not only have I read the books, got the degrees, gone to college multiple times, still learning and seeking coaches and things, and I'm doing mentorships and internships and continuing to grow. But I'm also wanting to not lose what I have been doing, which is helping you learn from not only what I've learned from the academia and professional world, but then what I've also experienced within my own family. And I go into more detail with that when I'm working one-on-one with clients. So the more you want to know about me, then you might as well just go ahead and schedule a free consultation and we'll get to know about each other. My channel is really more about just sharing important information to get it out there to the masses. And then if you want to know more about me personally and more about my family and how this is a family business, but right now most of my family members are doing other things behind the scenes, and I get to be the one on the camera who gets to engage with you at this point. So if you would like to schedule an appointment, go ahead and look inside the bio and there is a calendar link, or you can email me at homans.consulting@gmail.com, because I can help your family when there's been infidelity. I can help when there's been dishonesty and insecurities. And I'll be honest, a lot of humans really battle with these. And so I take the shame out of it. I take the guilt out of it, the fear out of it. And we can address the issues using God in the center to be able to help us navigate what the right decisions are. I'm just the messenger who gives you the guidance from God. And then you decide for yourselves, using your free will, what you do with that information and those tools that I've given to you. So I can help with trust issues within your relationships and self-trust, because when we betray ourselves, then it becomes hard to trust others. So I can help you with that as well. A third common relationship issue that I help address is conflict resolutions. So disagreements on how to handle disagreements. And this can lead to resentment and hurt feelings. We all have different love languages, and I have tools to help you with improving, matching each other and meeting each other on those love languages when your love languages are different. And that does impact your ability to bond and stay bonded. So another issue that most relationships go through are intimacy and emotional connection issues. So when you can't resolve conflicts, well, then that puts walls between you, which then impacts your ability to emotionally connect and remain intimate, which is very important in close connection. So I help you with feeling more connected. I help you when you're feeling unheard and when you're feeling unvalidated. So I am a neutral party, and I will reward you through positive praise and affirmations when you're doing the right things. But then I will also guide you in truth and God's love when I feel like your perspective might be skewed on something and you need me to play what I call the devil's advocate and just be like, all right, let me just think outside the box here. What about from this angle, or maybe this angle? And I kind of give you actually kind of multiple mirrors to kind of look through all at once and be able to see it from those different angles, given all the expertise and experience that I have with thousands and thousands of families. So I'm able to help you be able to shine a light on your situation in ways that nobody else can. The fifth common relationship issue that I help address is financial disagreements. We talk about different spending habits, financial priorities, and debt management. So finances can be a huge issue when it comes to relationships, and there's a lot of people that won't even enter a relationship until they feel financially secure. And unfortunately, in our world, that's an illusion. And so you really want to find someone that you can build with, who is generous and a God-centered heart with compassion, because you guys can build an empire together. Somebody who is just wealthy and greedy and materialistic, you're not going to be able to build with that person, and you'll never truly feel like loved, seen, validated, and heard. You'll always feel like a pawn in their chess game instead of being the queen or king next to that person. And so you want to make sure that you have developed yourself into your authentic emperor, empress. So then that way you can draw in and attract in your true match instead of settling for just a king or a queen. Another common relationship issue that I help people with are power struggles. This is when one person wants to control another, and that can shift within the relationship over time, especially if you've been together a long time. There's going to be lots of power struggles over control. There's also going to be possessiveness. Now, sometimes I'll admit, as a woman, there is a healthy degree of possessiveness, but there's also a fine line where jealousy can become toxic. And we know personally within our family members who have been not only domestic violence, but who have been murdered by their spouse or estranged spouse. I personally have had to have a restraining order when I got divorced against my husband, so I have also personal experience for knowing what that fear feels like and looks like, and can be a mirror to help people that may have been experiencing that in the past that need to work through that trauma, or someone that is experiencing it now, that I can be able to help you navigate what choices you have available to you. Another power struggle would be decision-making disagreements. I know for myself, having grown up with very religious-minded adults around me, that every little thing that I was doing was criticized and held to what I consider to be unrealistic expectations. But so decision-making disagreements. And that happens obviously within all relationships, because we don't want to just blindly follow along. That's one of the things that I was worried about with my children being autistic, and with ABA therapies and stuff. My nephew is in second grade and is currently going through his ABA treatments. And there is a part of me where me and my sister have talked about how much are we just conditioning them to blindly listen to whoever is telling them what to do, and then how much are they actually able to think for themselves in order to come up with a decision that that really truly reflects what that individual wants instead of what maybe the people around them want. Another common relationship issue that I help people with are differences in their values and goals. we can love somebody and then, 2 years in, we find out, oh, wow, we thought we were on the same page, but somewhere we lost track and now we got to get back on the same page. So I can help with conflicting priorities. I can help with, difference of lifestyles. I think of Green Acres was a show back when I was a kid where it was like the husband wanted to be a farmer and the wife wanted to stay in the big city, but he moved her into the, a farm town. And so we have to be able to adjust our lifestyles when we are married or connected with people, because it's not just about us. And I also help them with determining long-term visions, because what you started off with is going to evolve and change over time. So we can work together to create the vision that both of you will be happy with. The eighth common relationship issue that I help people with is a lack of intimacy and affection. So feeling unloved, unappreciated, or unheard. I help you guys spark things back up and be able to help you with things like, I found this cute little card game that I use with some clients. It's called Let's Mingle, Kids Edition. So that way you can learn to become more intimate with the people that you're living with. It's so easy to let everybody just kind of go to their technology devices or do their own little things, but when we really want to engage and feel seen and heard, we have to work on that lack of intimacy. The ninth common relationship issue that I help people with are external pressures, which includes family, friends, work, social media influences. It becomes really difficult to juggle all the different things that, we think that we can juggle. And believe me, I look back when my kids were little and I was like, how was I raising a family, buying a house, going to school, working full-time, micromanaging my husband and his mental illness, and my family with their issues and diagnoses and therapy. You just start to look back and you're like, wow, that was a lot of pressure. But then you can go, wow, but I learned a lot, which has helped me go from a piece of coal into a diamond. And I want to be there to help you if you're still in that pressure cooker of life that's trying to really mold you into the diamond. And then I can also help you with the polishing phase of going, okay, we made it through that storm. Look what we've learned from it. And now we're ready for the next challenge. And then the last group of common relationship issues are their personal issues. Any unresolved trauma, mental health concerns, self-esteem challenges. I used to weigh 330 pounds from being so depressed and anxious and overstressed and overthinking and overworked, and I learned how to, through trial and error, lots of tribulations, lots of praiseworthy God moments bringing me to my knees and me having to do the hard work in order to get the results, because nobody can do the work for us. We have to do the work for ourselves. And it's my goal to not only help you through the trenches of life, that when you hit a pitfall, that I'm also there to be your cheerleader. So I might not be able to rush in and save you from whatever you're dealing with, but I can be there beside you, rooting you on and giving you, shouting like the coach on the sidelines for you and rooting you on. So just remember that every relationship is unique, and not all of them will be experiences with these type of issues. So the key to addressing and working through challenges is working in unity together. And the best way to do that is to show grace, compassion, and love, not only to others, but to yourself. So thank you for listening to my message, and I look forward to talking with you in my next video. I hope you have a great day.